Welcome to On Air with Kate Butler, where we are revealing life's best kept secrets. What's been going on over here at Kate Butler Enterprises, Kate Butler Books, Kate Butler Coaching, all the things, all the things. So there's been lots going on. And during COVID, I started doing Coffee with Kate. And I've been doing this all behind the scenes. And recently I've had like 3 people say to me, why do you not do this? Like, why do more people not know about this? And when those of you who know me know that when things come to me 3 times, then I know that I need to listen, right? Because we get thoughts and we get pings and we get intuitive hits all day long, right? Like if we're in this space and we're like actively being creative, it is not necessarily possible if you're anything like me with how many things we get on a daily basis. You can't actually act on every single thing. So my system is, and my communication with co-creating is that once I receive something 3 times, then I know that that's the path that I will take a further step on. So when this came to me 3 times, I thought to myself, okay, I know I need to listen now. And I don't ever challenge that. I always just follow that. So Coffee with Kate is something that started during COVID, actually. So what was going on is that people, we were connecting and people were reaching out, and it got to the conversation of, people looking at different aspects, different areas of their life, and things were a 10 before. Let's just say a 10 out of 10 on a scale from 1 to 10, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. What was happening to people as the world was changing and as things were shifting and as things seemingly got out of our control. People that were originally living at a 10, all of the sudden, certain areas of their life fell down to a 6 or a 5 or a 2 or a 1. And so they were just reaching out to say, hey, what would you recommend for this? Or, hey, do you have, kind of like any tools that may, help me get out of this get out of this place of being a 2. No, that doesn't feel good to anybody, right? Nobody wants to be stuck at a 2 in any area of their life. So I started to do this Coffee with Kate where I would just say, hey, look, any area of your life where you're not living at a 10, let's dig into that, and we'll just do like a Coffee with Kate, like Q&A. And this is something I've been doing behind the scenes, right? So first and foremost, again, honoring, what's been showing up for me. I think I'm going to start doing that more publicly versus behind the scenes, because the fact of the matter is that everyone can relate and the information is valuable across the board. So there's no reason to not share it, right? As long as the person, asking the question and or doesn't mind, sharing the situation publicly, I really feel like it's valuable, and everybody can really take pieces of it away. So that's the first thing. So and I'm going to get into a little bit, but if anything is showing up for you, if there is any area of your life where you feel stuck or you feel underwhelmed, like that just right there. Like if there's an area of your life where you feel underwhelmed, like we are not here to be underwhelmed. Like can we all just agree on that? Right? Like short time with like this life, like it is precious, it is beautiful, it is short. So there's no moment that I'm interested in being underwhelmed, right? Like, and if I am, I'm going to recognize it and I'm going to do what I need to do to shift that, because I'm here to play, right? Like I'm here to live. Like I am here to get at it, right? And I know that I only have, a certain amount of time and a certain amount of minutes and a certain amount of moments and a certain amount of seconds. And so I'm getting at it, right? And I'm not interested in being underwhelmed in any area. And I know that you're not too, either, rather, I should say. And so, if we're stuck, if we're challenged, if we're underwhelmed, if we feel overwhelmed with stress, right? If we feel anxiety, any of these things, right? The point of Coffee with Kate started with we all know that there's a way out of that. It's okay that you're there, because we all get there. Like, I'm not saying that just because I'm not interested in being underwhelmed, that I don't ever get underwhelmed, right? Like things aren't always perfect, but know that we can recognize that in that moment that we would prefer something else, and that there is a path to get from where we are in this moment to what it is that we desire in our hearts, right? And so it's the path that sometimes you can use some support in along the way. So if you can use support in any of this that I am currently speaking of, you can shoot me an email at kate@katebutlerbooks.com. You can message me on Facebook. You can get in touch with me in all the ways and tell me what's going on. And I don't even have to say your name, but I can address the question. And if it needs a further conversation, I may reach out to you and say, hey, would you mind really digging into this? And like really getting at this. And obviously, like, this is just something that I'm doing for people. That this is not like, a coaching investment relationship, that would have been prior to COVID. This is just something that I feel is beneficial now, in what is happening in our world today. And it's been super, super awesome to see how it's helped people during these tough times. And so from that perspective, it just is filling me up to continue to keep doing this. But today, what I want to talk about is this whole getting to a 10, right? The 10 is not, how do I say this? Like, it's not, some people look at it as like, everything has to be a 10, like so much pressure, right? Like, it's not that. It's just recognizing if you would prefer something else, right? So this whole system of living at a 10 is really an opportunity for you to dig in and just completely evaluate where you are. My husband and I have this thing where, we'll do like our top 10 goals for the year, and then we'll do our top 10 goals for the quarter, and we will meet periodically. Like, I know this sounds funny, like we live together, right? Like, we see each other every day, but life happens. And we don't always carve out that time to connect, right? The two of us, on where our focus is going, what our goals are. And also, because life is always happening, that is always changing, right? So at least once a quarter, if not more, right? We'll grab a nice bottle of wine and we'll either go out to dinner, or we will like block off that night and we will have like a nice dinner indoors, and we will literally get out our goals, right? And we will look at what we're currently like, aiming for, right? So financial goals for the family, maybe career goals for ourselves, maybe family goals that we are desiring. And we will look at, hey, what's on your list? What's on my list? And there are things that are on my husband's list every single time we do this, right? Where I'm like, oh my God, that wasn't even on my radar. Like, if we had not had this discussion, I would not have known that was important to you, right? But now that I know it's important to you, it's going to go on my radar as well, right? And then other things, I am like, okay, that needs to be on my top 3, and it totally fell off somehow. So it brings us back to a common goal, a common focus, right? And so again, it's the inventory piece. It's not saying like anything's good or bad, right? Or like we weren't going towards the same thing, and so we weren't meeting our goals. Like, it's nothing a good or bad thing. It's more about having an opportunity to take an inventory to say, is this a track we want to continue on? Or are there other things that we want to consider? Because what we focus on grows, and our focus is our power, right? Our focus is our power. So it's precious. It's so precious. I look at it every day and I wake up and I go, oh, like, what do I get to bring in today? Right? Like, what do I get to invite in? What do I get to pull in? What do I get to co-create today? We have that opportunity from the second we wake up, right? I mean, we actually have that opportunity in what we plant in our minds before we go to bed as well, right? And then as we wake up, it gets even more powerful because we're consciously choosing our thoughts. We're consciously choosing what we are focusing, right? Our attention on that day. We are consciously choosing our words that come out, hopefully. We are consciously choosing our actions for that day. And all of those things, right, are going to stack us in one direction or the other. If we're aware of what we're doing, it's going to stack us in the direction of achieving our goals. So we must know what those goals are, and we must ensure that those goals are the ones that we want to be achieving, right? And this is where it's important to take the inventory. So if you do have a partner, a family, somebody that you're really close to or live with and have that close relationship, I'd really encourage you to do that inventory meeting with those people so that you can make sure you're on the right track together, right? I also recommend you do it for yourself. So this is where you really take a look. It's super simple, right? Like, let's look at our wheel. So if you have a piece of paper, which you probably do right in front of you, you just would blank piece of paper. Do you guys remember this is the journal that Bella, this like sketchbook, Bella left this little note. This was hers. And she left this little sketchbook on my desk. She said, I think that you're always drawing stuff, Mom. She said, I think you need this. I left a little note on there because it's so cute. Anyway, so if I were to take this blank piece of paper and I literally were just to draw a cross down the middle, you guys know me and my pencils, pencil and pen all the time, all the way. And then I just drew a circle around that cross, right? I'm going to have these 4 areas. And these 4 areas are going to turn into our 4 main categories that we can look at and we can take inventory of. So I'm just going to look at my health. I'm going to look at my wealth. I'm going to look at my relationships. And I am going to look at my personal joy. Okay. So those are what I've written down here. That's super simple. It's 4 things to say, how do I feel in my body right now? Right? How do I feel in my body? How do I feel in my energy? How do I feel with my health? What type of, wellness things do I want to take a look at? Am I in the yoga class that I want to be in? Am I in an exercise routine that I love? Am I taking the supplements or vitamins that I need to? Am I charging my body with the right foods, right? And if any of those things feel a little off for you, it's just an opportunity for you to take a look at it and say, is there one thing I could do here to put me stacking in the other direction, right? Stacking in the direction of adding value to my life versus taking away. Because remember, that focus we get every day is super precious. It's super precious. This is not a pressure thing. You don't have to feel more pressure. We all have enough of that. This is a gift. This is a blessing. This is an opportunity every single day. We just get to shift. We just get to shift what we're focusing on and just do one thing in this area to make ourselves feel better, right? To make it feel more aligned. Let's remember that our emotions are our indicator. Our emotions are our indicator, whether we are on track or off track all the way over here, okay? So if we're not feeling great in one of these areas, we can make these simple shifts to get back to where it feels really good, okay? Take a look at the area of wealth. It's like business, finances, investments, right? Flow of money, financial freedom, all that fun stuff. So where are we with all these things? Is there anything that sticks out to you right away where you say, I would like improvement here, right? Relationships, same thing. Personal relationships, internal, external relationships, nuclear relationships that you want to invite in, right? Like I went into this year and I said, I am interested in adding more mastermind groups to my life. I want more pure masterminds. I want to connect with people in other countries. I want, to connect with high level people. And I want to bring those people into my life because I'm not traveling as much as I used to. And I'm missing that connection, that inspiration, that vibration in my life, right? And so I invited that in. And now I'm in 3 additional mastermind groups that I wasn't in prior to that because I understood what I wanted. I was really clear about what I was inviting in. And then as the universe would have it, and you pay attention, the things will develop and show up for you as you continue to take action towards them. Yes, yes. Okay. And then our personal joy, it's like new experiences, right? Things you've always wanted to do, things that light you up inside. So we find sometimes if we're really, if we are, how do I put this? If you're in alignment, your personal joy is already going to connect and relate generally to all these other areas of your life. If we are finding our alignment, then our personal joy is probably going to look really different than our career right now or our other areas of our life, okay? Because we're just kind of coming together with it all. So it's okay if your personal joy things like new experiences, you're like, where does this come from? Like all of a sudden I'm being called to hike and I have no idea what this means. It's okay, right? We just honor what shows up. If it feels really good, if it lights us up from the inside out, I promise you it is not wrong. I promise you it will lead to an opening. I promise you it will lead to a miracle moment. And as we continue to experience these miracle moments in our life, they will continue to unfold and unfold and unfold and unfold even more because what we focus on grows. Yes, yes. Okay. So for today, what we're doing is we're drawing a cross on our page. Boom, boom. We're drawing a circle around the cross to make 4 different areas on the page. We are writing down wealth and health and relationships and personal joy. And we are just going to take an inventory today. We are going to say, do I feel like I am living at a 10 in my relationships? Do I feel like I am living at a 10 in my personal joy, right? Like, am I living each day exactly how I imagined like that I wanted to unfold? Am I enjoying new experiences right now, right? Am I making the connections that I want to make in my life, right? So there's all these questions that we can ask ourselves just to say, am I living this to the fullest? And if I'm not, because there's always an opportunity here, right? It's almost like the fun is in the opportunity, not in the 10. Are we seeing this? Yes, yes. Like it's the fun is not in getting to 10 because then we're there, we're like, oh, what do we do now? Right? What fun is that? The fun is getting to that space of creating more. Yeah. So the opportunity comes in what could make this even better, right? What could bring me even more joy? What could bring me even more excitement? What could bring me even more success in this area? And when we start to tap into that, I just want you to take down your pen to paper, your pencil to paper, and begin to invite in how you can bridge the gap from that 6 to the 10, from the 8 to the 10, from the 2 to the 10. If you identify that you are a 2, a 6, an 8, you can only identify that you're not a 10 if you prefer something different. It's the only possible way. Okay. Other than that, your brain will tell you you're a 10 and you'll just stay there, right? That's the scariest thing for people who are like, I'm a 10 and everything. And you're like, oh, okay. Right? Oh, no opportunity for growth. Okay. No opportunity to move. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. No problem. Right? That's the scariest place to be. Nobody wants to be there. We all want to look at it and say, where can we grow? Where is there an opportunity for me to have more fulfillment, to give back more, to feel more lit up inside, to feel so lit up, right? That I can be all the way bubbling with this joy, with this love, right? With this unconditional support that I now get to pour that out and into others, right? That's the game. That's the best part of the game. So with that, we get to dig in and say, if I'm an 8, what would I prefer? Right? And we get to write it out. We get to imagine, we get to play, we get to create whatever it is our heart is desiring in that moment, right? Because we're just writing it down. We're just playing. We're just having fun, right? And so when we start to imagine, all of a sudden, we start putting out all these signals to the universe that you're inviting this in. And the more we stay in that space, the more you will see these things begin to show up in real life, physical form in your life. Okay. And really, truly, it is that easy. So a couple of takeaways here. Number 1 is that we actually have a complete process of doing this. I have a beautiful printable journal sheet that anyone is welcome to. It's just it's a free download. So if you want a beautiful space that it actually walk you through this entire process, and you want to be able to journal that, just ping us. You can ping us here, ping me privately on Facebook, whatever you want, and we can get you over that page. And we'll probably just drop it here in the comments as well, right? And so you can absolutely have access to that. This is the one that I literally use every single day. So it is, I started to offer it to other people because they're like, well, where do you do this? Or how do you do this? Or, what are the exact steps, right? And I'm like, oh, this is the exact steps. It's literally what I use every single day. So here it is for you too. And there's also a cool video that comes along with it. And again, this is all just for you. There's no strings attached whatsoever. Totally free. I just want everyone to have this tool because this is a life-changing, game-changing tool. If people ask me if you could do one thing or pick one success tool besides meditation, this would be the 100% tool that I would use. So I just want everyone to have it. Okay. So if you want it, it's yours. Just let us know. The other thing is that if you do have an area of your life where you're like, I'm not at a 10 and I could actually use some support or a talk through or some guidance or some coaching or some mentorship. And how do I bridge that gap? Right? Because what we're talking about here is one tool, right? This future visioning tool is one tool, but there are a plethora of tools, right? That really help us create our life beyond our wildest imagination. So if you would like some insight into some of those other tools, you can let us know what your questions are or that you're open to a discussion around that. And I'm happy to, dig into that with you in, a next coffee with Kate, if you will. And I do actually have coffee here. This is like when we do this one-on-one, we just sit here with our coffee and we just totally hang out and we talk and we vibe and we change our lives. We change our lives for the better because that opportunity is available to us every single day. So that's longer than I thought I would go today. So I'm going to go ahead and sign off for now, but I look forward to hearing from you. Your coffee with Kate questions, send those into us. And you can send them to support@katebutlerbooks.com. You can send them directly to me at kate@katebutlerbooks.com, or you can send them on Messenger. It's totally fine. My team is in Messenger and can collect all those as well. So however you need to get them to us, get them to us. But the only wrong way to do this is to suffer in silence, right? I always say there's no wrong way to meditate. There's no wrong way to take action. The only thing that's going to hold you back is not doing anything. Okay. So let's connect. Let's get this going. And I'm still here. I'm still here for the regular coffee with Kate's that we've been doing, guys. We're just going to do it in a little bit different forum for now so that we can really pour into more people and get more people vibing super high, which is ultimately our goal. Okay. Love you all. Happy Friday. Have a beautiful weekend. Talk to everyone soon.
Thank you so much for listening today. I would love to connect with you on social, and you can find me on Instagram and Facebook under Kate Butler Books. If you're interested in accessing some life-changing tools and techniques, you can grab those right off of the homepage of my website for free, and that is katebutlerbooks.com. And you can always check back here to download new episodes from our podcast right here where you listen today. Until next time, thank you for making this world a better place just by being you.